When you're having fun, 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 fun. When you're having fun, yeah.
Here in the deep blue sea.
Now a new Brent Faiyaz song was just recently released featuring Tyler the Creator, but instead of reacting to that song, we're going to take a little step back further and instead react to an album which I feel like was an inspiration to that song's vibe and sound. Hello everyone, if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, and today we're going to be reacting to this album right here, which is called Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. So first of all, I'd just like to thank this person right here for suggesting this album for me to react to. I owe you big time. Now to be honest with you guys, I'm not really the biggest fan when it comes to this guy's music. I mean, I've only listened to some of his songs from his albums Igor and this one, Flower Boy. But that was kind of like a year ago or something, so I can't really remember what the song sounds like now anymore at this point. So I guess this is kind of like a semi-first reaction review video. I mean, in his album Flower Boy, from the first time that I've looked at the album cover and stuff like that, I don't know, it felt like he was kind of showing his transformation, kind of like him blooming into like this another phase of this, or like another image of him as a person. So yeah, that's all I got from his album, and like the first impression that I got from it from seeing his album title as well as the album cover. I mean, the flowers were a huge giveaway, as well as the bees, because you know, the flowers and the bees. But before we get into it, please do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell down below so that you guys will be able to stay updated for my future videos. And if you guys would like me to react to anything else, such as music videos, songs, music albums, stuff like that, please feel free to comment it into the comment section down below as well. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just go and walk down memory lane. Now the first song is called Foreword. Do you know what's the opposite of a forward? Backward.
How many cars can I buy till I run out of drive? How much drive can I have until I run out of road? And if I crash and don't come back.
So you guys have probably heard of the saying that order comes from chaos and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, basically this is what this whole song's about. Sets up that stage for Tyler the Creator's character's growth as well. Kind of like it just demolishing whatever persona it has, like this image that Tyler the Creator has, for it to deconstruct and be reconstructed again. And yeah, I mean, it's the first song, so I feel like this is gonna be like the start of a journey of Tyler the Creator's character or himself to building his new image, if not better at least, along with like new values and like new habits and stuff like that. And yeah, where he's kind of like getting tired of the hedonistic lifestyle that he's got going on for him, along with like the material things and the women and his shallow relationships and connections with them. It's just kind of like something's gotta give if I have to change this life of mine into a more meaningful one, which I feel like is also put together nicely by Rex Orange County throughout his hooks on the song. So yeah, it's a pretty good intro song for the next songs that are about to come up next on this album. And yeah, let's go listen to some more. So this next song is called Where This Flower Blooms, featuring Frank Ocean. Man, Frank Ocean, where you been? Release some songs, man. What are you doing? This is not all linked, so maybe if you go to like the end of the foreword, then it just transitions smoothly on like this next song, which is called Where This Flower Blooms. I think it's gonna sound nice.
Let's take it back to them date, counting sheep on say they hand afloat. Carpet with my baby mama. I ride from California, beach frog over goggles. I'm leaning out the window. Run it, run it, run it, run it. Run it.
Oh yeah, now that I remember it, you know, like the music video for the song See You Again, where they kind of like transition into the end for this song, Where This Flower Blooms. I feel like they should have also done that for the sequencing between the songs here and the albums, where they just kind of like did See You Again first, then it moves to Where This Flower Blooms, instead of putting on the foreword, then Where This Flower Blooms. I mean, I don't know, that's just my opinion. I don't know how this whole thing works. I mean, for the features, we got Rex Orange County first, and then Frank Ocean second. I mean, like when it comes to Tyler the Creator's kind of like raspy, rough rap voice being juxtaposed by these features vocals that are kind of like smooth and buttery and all that stuff. I mean, it's a nice contrasting effect. I'm really liking the overall vibe on these songs at the moment. I have no idea how to describe these songs. And yeah, as for the message of this song, Where This Flower Blooms, I feel like it's also kind of like his own testament to himself from like making it big and successful in like the music industry despite his rough upbringing in his life, where he takes pride in that. I mean, who wouldn't, right? And yeah, from that he got this bravado and like self-confidence in himself that like, yeah, I'm the big boy now. I do miss Frank Ocean though. Yo, next up, Sometimes.
New chicken
And-
shit buckets. Golf Radio, you're on the air with Shay Powers. Taking requests.
So yeah, that was the skit. On that tiny interlude on like this album, I don't know, it had like strong reminiscing vibes to it, where he's kind of like remembering or like recalling his past or like his peak on like his music career or something like that, when everything was still all about him, where he's trying to like get this high that he got from him being successful in his career or something. I mean, yeah, that's all I got from it, and I just went straight to the next song. Now, this song, See You Again, is one of those songs that I've already listened to in the past. Now, we could listen to this again, but 2020 vision, to have a piece of your pie. I feel like there's a story that's going on as it progresses from one song to another, but I feel like I'm also just stupid to kind of see it. And yeah, our boy Tyler the Creator is falling in love in this. Now compare that for him being shallow from his past lifestyle to this, trying to pursue this kind of like meaningful connection and relationship to another person. I mean, I've seen a lot of people do some stupid things for love and do some great things for love. And yeah, I mean, I feel like love is just one great factor for changing another person for better or for worse, and that's all I have to say about it. Now this next song is called Who Dat Boy. You know that annoying fly that gets on your ears and starts doing random noises? And that's annoying. Yeah, I give up. I've always seen A$AP Rocky as kind of like this heavy lyrical I've always seen A$AP Rocky as kind of like this heavy lyrical rapper, which is pretty showcased here in this song. You ever get those moments in your life where like everything's just going right for you in your life and you're just like, I'm just too good, I can't miss? And yeah, I feel like this whole song is just one big flex. And yeah, he's just on a high basically on his success. I mean, yeah, life's good. This song's good. I mean, who that boy? Who him is. I mean, I feel like if I said that, my English teacher's gonna smack me in the back of my head. And yeah, I mean, it's music. You can bend like grammar rules and stuff like that for it to sound good. I mean, yeah, pretty good track. I mean, I had to listen to it twice because I forgot to analyze the song. But yeah, now this next song is called Pothole, featuring Jaden Smith and Alexander Britton. Hope I said those names right.
Me that some niggas ain't my right hand. To trust her only my heart and that elder white man. His name is Clancy, I fancy him, gotta give him props. He have the reason.
I like that double entendre. I thought he was talking about God at first. Then it's a real elder white man whose name is Clancy. And Clancy's parents had a real nice marriage. Oh, Jaden Smith is Will Smith's son. Man, I'm stupid. So yeah, when it comes to this song's message, I really resonate with this one. I mean, I'm not really as successful as this guy. I mean, I'm not even close. But when it comes to like helping your friends and like your peers and stuff like that, I mean, I really get that. Even though it may not seem that much to you guys, but like 1,000 subs is a pretty big deal to me. I guess there were some friends of mine that got motivated to like also start their YouTube channel or like pursue their career on something else. But man, there's also gonna be some friends that won't even show like even a little bit of support. And yeah, I mean, like there's also some people that you thought there's gonna be supporting you don't end up being supportive. I mean, I get that. But also, what the fuck? They see you successful, but they don't want to be successful themselves. They just want to leech off of you. And yeah, if you do make it big, they're gonna feel like they're entitled on like their share or something like that, just because they've showed their support. But when it comes to you needing help, they won't be there to help. It's pretty stupid. And yeah, I really agree with what his mom says. Get your circles close and tight and do your own thing. And yeah, it's one of those toxic environments where you just kind of move on. And I mean, yeah, if you're trying to do something big while your friends don't want to really achieve something big as you, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna try to drag you down and try to keep your light dim just the same as them. I mean, they will want you to be successful, but they don't want you to be more successful than they are. You'll see. I really appreciate Jaden Smith's contribution to the song, being that he's kind of like the hook or like the refrain of it, but I don't really get Alexander Bretton's contribution to this thing. I mean, I feel like he's at the very end part of the song, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like for his part, I feel like it's kind of like dragged out and forced. I mean, like I don't really get the whole point of it. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty good track. Now, next song, Garden Shed. Now, aside from the song having an intro for like a whole minute, I feel like this song represents Tyler the Creator's homosexuality. Wasn't really that supported back in the day, I guess, which is why this whole song came out here. Voice out this kind of like frustration that he has, like why is nobody supporting me for being who I am, pretty much. I don't know, this one kind of like went over my head at first. When it comes to this song, I don't really feel the whole vibe of it. Like, I don't know, I feel like it was just too dragged out, especially at the beginning with Estelle's part here, and should have just went straight to the point with Tyler the Creator's verse. And yeah, I just don't really feel the song. I do support Tyler the Creator's homosexuality, of course. I mean, it doesn't bother anyone, so like. Now this next song is called Boredom. You know what, I'm just gonna sing, I don't even care anymore. When you're having fun, find some time to do something. Okay, so this part of the story of the album I get. I mean, when it comes to Pothole, where it's kind of like helping his friends help themselves, but they kind of refuse, so he just moved on and just got out of that toxic environment. Then on the Garden Shed, he kind of like backfired on him, I feel like, with his whole revealing himself being a homosexual. Then the people that he thought were friends just didn't care, so now he was just doubling down and like, you know what, I don't need you guys. Then on this song, Boredom, now he got no friends to be with, so it's like, what to do? And even though we're not like on the same exact situation as him, I feel like we also had a similar experience where like the old environment that we were on, we're just sick and tired of like the environment that we're on, and we're just like, well, something needs to change. And now some of us did follow through with us moving on to the other stage of life, while others were just stuck in there. And to be honest, I'm not here to judge. I mean, sometimes it's kind of like this short, intense process where like, even though it hurts a lot, by the end of the day, it's over. Like, you're in this new place now. Where for some of us, it's kind of like this long, painstaking process of like waiting for things. Like waiting for your visa to like travel, or waiting for the COVID lockdowns, or just COVID to be over in general. I really appreciate Rex Orange County's vocals in this. I mean, I've never not appreciated his vocals. It's just pretty good here. And yeah, aside from those, I have nothing to say now. This song's really good. Now next song, Ain't Got Time.
You already know I slow my shit grow.
Now as for the message of this song, Ain't Got Time, I really feel like this is the exact opposite of what the song Boredom was trying to say. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of like the next chapter in these songs on the album, where he's kind of like, instead of just dealing with the things that he has to go through internally and emotionally, he's just kind of like focusing on the things that he feel like he has better control over, which is his career. So he's kind of like just putting himself out there to work, get more music and all that stuff. So he's just kind of like drowning out the sadness with like just going straight to work, just working. And yeah, either work or partying, just something to just kind of like keep himself distracted from like all these things that he has to process internally. I mean, you're not really solving your problems that way, you're just kind of like keeping it aside, because this thing is gonna be pretty toxic and destructive as it goes on. Pretty short-term way to deal with these problems, but you really need to get to the core of it. Talk to a friend, which is in this case not really applicable for the character in this album, or maybe get a therapist or something. I mean, even though the message of the song is pretty sugar-coated in this song, but if you're really insistent on doing this in real life, you're better off with some other healthier alternatives, man. I'm just being honest with you. Now next song is called 911/Mr. Lonely, so let's go listen to it.
My thirst levels are infinity and beyond. Sipping on that lemon, I need a Beyonce. I can't even lie, I've been lonely. They say the loudest in the room is weak, that's what they assume, but I disagree. I say the loudest in the room is probably the lonely.
And yeah, I mean, I really appreciate the last verse of this, especially in this song, which is kind of like just expose his kind of like more vulnerable self, and just set aside of like the euphemisms and like putting on this bravado, like everything's going right with him, when in reality he's just lonely. Yeah, I mean, the first half of the song I don't really appreciate that much. for the sole fact that Tyler the Creator's voice is just not suitable for singing or like melodies in my opinion. I mean, a feature would be great again, maybe Frank or Rex Orange County again. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's forced, especially the mix of like the production as well. I keep trying to bob my head into it, but the beat just keeps constantly changing its timing. So I don't know, maybe it is intentional, but yeah, I don't know, it's just doesn't sit right with me. Now for the 11th track, it's called Dropping Seeds featuring Lil Wayne, so this should be good.
Adam in the Garden of Eve. My bitch got an apple bottom and she swallow my seeds, follow my lead. Seeds got the garden flowers popping, course. Droppin Seeds, motherfucker, Weezy baby, the boy, yo.
I don't know, I mean, it's just a minute long, so maybe I'm just underestimating this song. But yeah, I feel like they're just rapping for the sake of rapping. There's not really much to get into it. I mean, it's just a minute long, so I don't really know. Song number 12, November. Let's go check it.
And I'm only known for tweets more than beats, or on my day ones turning 3/4 cause of track 7.
So yeah, so for this song, November, it kind of represents the greener grass in his life, which was in the past. So for him, it's kind of like a checkpoint where like, this is where everything was good, then everything beyond that was just trash. Decisions from his music or like things that have said online and Twitter in particular, as he said in this lyric, as well as his relationships with his friends from his song that is referenced here, which is called Garden Shed, I think. And yeah, from that point on, he's kind of like having second thoughts about like the things that he's done, and he just wants to go back where everything's better than the way it is now for him. I mean, we all have those moments where like we want to go back to the good old days. You can never really go back in time. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna happen on the future with like time machines and all that stuff, but there's nowhere to go but forward. And even though the situation in your life right now is not that good compared to before, I mean, you can always do something to improve your life so that it'll be better on the future. And yeah, the beat of this song was pretty gritty and rough, which kind of like keeps the listeners in kind of like this grounded state where like it's just pressed on the ground, which was kind of juxtaposed by Tyler the Creator's lyrics here, where he's kind of like fleeting, where he switches from one memory to another, thinking that he could just go back or something like that. The message of the song was pretty good, but music-wise, as I'm listening to it, I don't know, maybe there's another way to kind of like approach this sonically. But yeah, that's just me. Now this next song is called Glitter. I've already listened to this, but who cares at this point? Yeah, so the last part of this song where they had the beat change and all of that stuff, I haven't really listened to that part. I only listened to the Tiny Desk version of this song. And yeah, so in this song, Tyler the Creator kind of met someone, I think. So he likes this person in this song, but he hasn't really confessed or like put out his emotions yet for that particular person. So ever since he's had a rift with his friends, he's been depending on this other person, which is also, it's like another shot for him to connect and have a relationship with another person. Yeah, so that's kind of like a good thing as well, because in reality, you don't really need a lot of friends. As long as you have kind of like that one person to confide in, you should be pretty alright. Yeah, knowing how Tyler the Creator is, I feel like he doesn't over depend too much on like his emotions and all of that stuff on just that one person, because over dependency is just as toxic as like being independent and being distant to other people as well. So you gotta have to have that healthy balance in the middle. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a new feeling for him as well. So it's all glittery and fun at the moment. And yeah, I don't know, I hope that he handles this relationship well. And as for this song, I really feel like I was just enjoying the hooks and chorus of this song. I was not really into the verses that much. I feel like I was just waiting for it to be over and just go into the next chorus line. So yeah, so for that part, I really like it. But on the other parts, I don't really enjoy it as much. So yeah, it's kind of like a 50-50 for me. So for the last track, it's called Enjoy Right Now Today. And we're gonna go listen to it. Yo, I was waiting for the song to start, but then I realized it's already 4 minutes. Man, I mean, the whole thing was just an instrumental. It felt like I was just on the ending credits of this album. If it was a movie, that'd be like the ending credits of this thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I hate it, but I don't feel like I like it either. It's just meh. So yeah, that was Tyler the Creator's album, which is called Flower Boy. And after comparing my first impressions on this thing and after listening to it, I feel like I kind of hit the mark almost. I mean, I've kind of picked up the story of this album starting from the 6th track Pothole up until the very end, which is called Enjoy Right Now Today. And as for the message of this song, I really felt like it was not for me personally. I mean, aside from it being Tyler the Creator's life experiences, which I am not particularly invested in, as I am not really that kind of big of a fan of him, and him tackling his sexual orientation and how it's affected others, as well as being interacted and dealt with by the people around him, which is, again, not something that I could relate to. I mean, there were some bits and pieces here and there from the songs in this album, but they were not kind of like the main themes of this album, I suppose. I mean, there was See You Again, Who Dat Boy was a pretty good track in my opinion, as well as Boredom, but I guess that's about it. But yeah, those were pretty much the songs that I ended up enjoying again. And as for the other songs, I feel like the messages of those were either too cryptic or was just too dense to know the messages behind them. And as for the vibes of the sounds of the songs, I feel like they could be categorized into two things. Mainly one for it being gritty and rough, which reminds me of kind of like a sketchy dark alley at night or something like that. And the other vibe that I got all throughout the album is kind of like this flower garden with like flowers all around, obviously. Like very chill, very mellow, very light and fuzzy. And yeah, the extended use of like the synths and all of like the instruments in the background of like the production of the beats and the songs were pretty great as well. And this might come off a bit ignorant coming from me, but I feel like they were just using the same instruments over and over again. They were able to show the versatility of those instruments, from it being gritty and it for being like fuzzy and heartwarming, pretty much. Why is my voice like this? And as for the story of the album, I really felt like the story of that was ended on a cliffhanger or something. I mean, he did meet another person on the track Glitter, but I felt like the end of that story was not really reached because it just ended on like the last song. It's kind of like the credits, so we don't really know where the relationship ended up. So from the beginning, he was all shallow and materialistic, from him getting himself out of the closet and losing some friends in the process as well. And then meeting this another person, which I feel like he found hope on. So yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like a part 2 that's going to be continued on the album Igor. So I feel like storytelling wise, that was a pretty smart move. So Igor was kind of like Flower Boy Part 2 in my opinion. So yeah, with all those said and done, once again, Flower Boy, Tyler the Creator. So yeah, this is the end of the reaction video. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed it so that I'll know. And please once again, do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell down below so that you guys will be able to stay updated for my future videos. So if there's anything that I've missed on the songs in this video, you can tell it to me on the comment sections below as well. If you want me to react to anything else such as music, songs, albums, music videos, all of that stuff, just comment it down below as well. And if you want to watch my reaction videos, you can click these ones right here. It's all good, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.